Hi friends, quick recap here. In today's video, I will be discussing the science fiction adventure film Vesper. Spoiler ahead. Watch out and take care. In the future, Earth faces a big problem because humans played around with genetically changed things too much. Some new viruses and creatures they created got out of control and ruined the food we used to eat, killed off all the animals, and even hurt a lot of people. Nowadays, a small group of powerful folks live in special cities called citadels, while the rest of us are just trying to get by. To get food, we have to depend on these citadels, and they give us special seeds that only grow one time. Among the regular folks, there's a smart young girl named Vesper. She's 13 and lives with her dad, Darius, who can't move because he's paralyzed. But he's found a way to be with his daughter by putting his thoughts into a robot that follows her around. Vesper is really clever. Every day, she goes out to find food, and she even knows some things about biohacking and messing with genes, which allows her to use plants and bugs. She finds her own experiments at an old lab nearby. She's also the one responsible for keeping her father alive by taking care of the machine he's connected to. Her dad is very protective, and he doesn't like it when she talks about leaving or following travelers just out of curiosity. One day, when Vesper comes home, she finds out they've been robbed, and the machine that powers their home, including her dad's life support system, is broken. To save her father, she has to go to a nearby farm and ask for help. At the farm, she learns they're having a problem with a jug, which is a person made in a lab to do hard work but without much intelligence. The jug got hurt while working and is now useless. The farm leader, Jonas, who happens to be Darius' brother, tells the person in charge to put the jug out of its misery. Jonas says it can't feel anything because it was made in a lab. But when the person tries to do it, the jug fights back and cries. After the unsettling scene with the jug, Vesper goes up to Jonas and asks if she can have some bacteria to fix her broken generator. She offers to give him some of her blood in return. Blood is valuable to Jonas because he uses it to trade for seeds from the citadels, but Vesper only comes to donate when there's a real emergency. As she grows older, her blood won't be as useful, which is why Jonas wants her to live with them. He promises to take care of her dad too. However, Vesper refuses because she knows Jonas has creepy intentions, wanting to make her one of his breeders. He keeps mentioning how much she looks like her mom, who left them a year ago. After Vesper donates her blood, Jonas says he can't give her the bacteria right away because he needs to sell the blood first, which will take a couple of days. But her dad can't wait that long without the machine. Vesper gets really angry and tries to take her blood back, but Jonas catches her and kicks her out of the farm. Determined not to give up, Vesper returns shortly after and sneaks into the farm through a hole in the fence that only she knows about. Jonas' helper notices Vesper but decides not to tell anyone about it. So, Vesper manages to sneak into Jonas' lab and take the bacteria she was supposed to get. While she's in there, she also grabs some of the seeds Jonas brought from the citadel. On her way back home, Vesper sees a citadel glider flying lower than usual. When she gets home, she fixes the generator and then starts working on the seeds. She hopes that by making them grow, she might be able to impress the people in the citadel and earn a place there. Darius tries to explain that the people in the citadel won't accept her, no matter how clever she is. This really hurts Vesper, and she leaves the house crying. While she's running through the forest, she's surprised to find Camellia, a woman who looks like she's from the citadel, which may be unconscious. Even though plants are growing on her, Camellia is still alive. Vesper pushes the plants away and brings Camellia home. She uses a special patch she made herself to take care of Camelia's injuries. Later in the evening, Camellia wakes up and hears Vesper and Darius arguing about what to do with her. Vesper thinks she could take them to the citadel for help, but Darius doesn't trust Camellia and believes they should leave her in the forest to fend for herself. In a state of worry and fear, Camellia quietly takes a knife from the kitchen and hides it beneath her pillow just before Vesper arrives to check on her. When Vesper inquires, Camellia confirms that the glider she spotted the day before had indeed crashed, and she was on it with her father. Unfortunately, they became separated, and Camellia is determined to find him. Even though Camellia isn't strong enough to walk yet, she promises a reward in exchange for Vesper's help, and Vesper agrees to search for her father in the forest, despite Darius' disapproval. During dinner, Camellia learns about Darius' injury while serving in the Citadel army and how he was only given a drone in return, which has made him deeply distrustful of the Citadel. Suddenly, Darius experiences a seizure, and Camellia helps him by giving him a kiss, which promptly puts him to sleep. The following morning, Vesper embarks on her search and quickly locates the glider with Camelia's father, Elias, inside. Unfortunately, she isn't alone. Jonas and a group of survivalists arrive at the crash site to investigate. Jonas approaches Elias and disregards his pleas for help, instead choosing to harm him because of his Citadel affiliation. When Vesper tries to intervene and stop Jonas from harming Elias, Jonas pushes her away. However, he becomes suspicious about her strong concern for a stranger. He also discovers a woman's scarf inside the glider, indicating the presence of another passenger they need to locate. Later on, Darius suggests that Vesper should tell Camellia that they found nothing and inform the Citadel before Camellia does anything reckless or before Jonas tracks her down. However, the only transceiver is at Jonas' house. Upon returning home, Vesper lies to Camellia and promises to continue searching for her father the next day. Camelia's wounds are healing, thanks to Vesper's synthetic patches, and Camellia is impressed. As a result, Vesper decides to confide in her and shows her the secret greenhouse where she keeps all the plants she's bioengineered. Each plant has unique abilities and personalities, and Vesper is proud of her creations. However, she still hopes to find the right combination to produce edible seeds. While Vesper is occupied with one of her plants, Darius approaches Camellia and tells her that there's no way she can take them to a citadel. Nevertheless, he advises Camellia to be kind because Vesper trusts her, and this dream of reaching the citadel means everything to her. Upon their return home, Camellia asks Vesper about her mother, who left a year ago to join the pilgrims after losing her voice. Pilgrims are people who travel in groups with veils over their faces and scavenge old items, but nobody knows the reason why, as they never speak. There are rumors that suggest it might be due to a virus that turns them into pilgrims, which would mean Vesper's mom didn't have a choice in the matter. After Camellia reveals that she never met her own mother, Vesper brings out a book filled with illustrations of animals she's never seen but that Camellia has encountered. Camellia shares her experiences and teaches Vesper the sounds these animals make. Vesper wonders why the Citadel can keep real animals while the survivalists aren't allowed to live there. Camellia explains that the higher-ups are concerned that opening their doors would lead to resource shortages. Vesper suggests that the survivalists could do the tougher jobs instead of creating jugs for labor, but Camellia points out that the Citadel values control and that jugs don't resist like people do. Later, Vesper brings out her mother's old musical instrument, and she sings while Camellia plays it. The next day, Vesper sneaks into Jonas' house once more to try to use the transceiver. However, this time, Jonas notices Darius' drone and captures it. While pretending to repair it, Jonas talks to Vesper about his missing seeds and the mystery of the vanished passenger. He emphasizes his dislike for liars, especially when they're part of his own family. Refusing to confess, Vesper grabs the drone and runs away, only to discover that the drone can't fly and crashes as soon as it attempts to take off. While attempting to recover the drone, Vesper stumbles upon a lifeless body beneath a tree, which turns out to be Jonas' assistant. The circumstances make her wonder if he was punished for assisting her. Suddenly, a group of Jonas followers arrives and forcefully pins Vesper to the ground. They mark her hand with a seal, branding her as Jonas' property. Upon her return home, Vesper experiences a breakdown, and Camellia compassionately consoles her. This prompts Vesper to feel remorse for her lies, leading her to confess that Elias is no longer alive. To substantiate her claim, Vesper takes Camellia to see Elias' body, which is floating in the river. Camellia, in turn, undergoes a breakdown, shedding tears and clinging to her father's lifeless form. Vesper has to rescue Camellia from the river to prevent her from drowning. While holding her, Vesper notices an unusual scar on Camelia's back that reacts when touched. It turns out that Camellia is an incredibly advanced jug, created by Elias, who was banished from the Citadel for engineering an intelligent servant. Camellia had been concealing the truth as well. She could never have secured Vesper and her father entry into the Citadel because she had been evading capture. Furious, Vesper lashes out at Camellia before they both return home. Vesper instructs Camellia to leave once she has cleaned up. Vesper eventually manages to repair the drone and shares the truth with her father. Darius requests that Vesper not be too harsh on Camellia, emphasizing that jugs are bound by orders and have limited choices in their actions. Meanwhile, Camellia contemplates using a tool to end her life before the Citadel can locate her. However, Darius' words have had a profound impact on Vesper, and she arrives just in the nick of time to prevent Camellia from taking drastic measures. Feeling purposeless, Camellia accepts Vesper's proposal to take a cell sample from her, which would contribute to Vesper's research. This task, however, proves to be challenging because Camelia's cells are also locked, much like the seeds. Observing Vesper's mounting frustration, Camellia recalls that Elias used to say music helped him concentrate. This idea proves to be a breakthrough, as the soothing melodies of Camelia's music unlock her cells. Finally, Vesper can modify the Citadel's seeds to make them fertile, ensuring they won't face hunger again. To further her progress, Vesper decides to acquire more filters and embarks on a quick trip to the old lab with the drone to gather additional tools. Meanwhile, Camellia remains at home, keeping watch over Darius' body. Jonas arrives to check on his niece, and initially, Camellia feigns innocence. However, Jonas sees through her act and threatens to harm Darius. Fearing for Darius' safety, Camellia reluctantly agrees to go with Jonas without putting up a fight. As soon as Camellia turns around, Jonas spots the mark on her back, indicating that she's a jug. He tries to reprogram her cells forcefully, attempting to make her accept him as her new master. However, at that very moment, Vesper returns and intervenes, sparking a brawl that involves the drone and Camellia as well. Together, they manage to overpower Jonas. Despite their victory, Vesper refuses to take Jonas' life. Instead, she proposes a deal. If Jonas refrains from alerting the Citadel about them, she will share the key to unlocking the seeds, allowing him to feed his people. Jonas appears to agree, but as soon as he reaches the farm, he betrays them by contacting the Citadel and revealing the location of the fugitive jug. By nightfall, Vesper has successfully unlocked the first batch of seeds, but their celebration is cut short when Darius' drone detects an outside presence, indicating that the Citadel has located them. Suddenly, an engineered organism infiltrates the house through every possible opening. Fortunately, Darius recognizes it from his military days and warns Vesper and Camellia not to breathe until the poisonous threat has subsided. After the danger passes, Camellia suggests turning herself in to save them, but Darius refuses. He explains that even if they capture Camellia, the Citadel will still pursue Vesper for aiding her. Instead, he offers to distract the soldiers while they escape. Vesper is reluctant to leave Darius behind, but he persuades her to hide nearby. He assures her that she can return after he has informed the soldiers that there is no jug present, as he knows how to communicate with fellow military personnel. Upon the soldiers' arrival, they initially target Jonas' farm, eliminating him and his group. Subsequently, they reach Darius' residence, but Vesper has meticulously concealed all signs of habitation. She takes the seeds and hides with Camellia in the forest. Darius harbors no illusions about the soldiers listening to him, opting not to engage with them. His true plan from the start has been to self-destruct the drone, intending to take the soldiers down with him. In the forest, Vesper witnesses the explosion at her father's location and starts to run back to assist him. However, Camellia restrains her, recognizing the futility of their actions. Adding to their predicament, two surviving soldiers begin pursuing them. To evade the soldiers, Vesper leads Camellia through the swamp, well aware of the perilous plants that can dispatch their pursuers. The first soldier falls prey to this trap and swiftly perishes. However, the second soldier observes this danger and learns to avoid the treacherous plant. Vesper and Camellia resort to crawling on their knees to stealthily maneuver through the area while concealed behind bushes. Unfortunately, another plant makes noise upon detecting them, alerting the soldier to their presence. As the man approaches, Vesper and Camellia decide that a proactive approach is their best defense. They leap onto him, swiftly gaining control of his weapon and striking him until he unwittingly walks into the trap zone, where a predatory plant claims his life. In the distance, the sound of approaching gliders signals the relentless pursuit. Camellia realizes that they will never cease chasing her, posing a perpetual threat to Vesper and the seed's safety. Aware of Camelia's intentions, Vesper attempts to object, but Camellia silences her with a kiss, rendering her unconscious. Camellia conceals Vesper's body beneath fallen leaves before surrendering to the soldiers. The following morning, Vesper awakens and returns to her house, only to find it reduced to ashes. After planting some of the unlocked seeds in her former garden, she encounters a group of children who survived the assault on Jonas' farm. Together, they embark on a journey, following the pilgrims to unravel their destination. Their quest leads them to a colossal tower constructed by the pilgrims from scavenged materials. Without hesitation, Vesper ascends the tower. Upon reaching the summit, she opens her hand, releasing the seeds to be carried away by the wind, allowing them to flourish and multiply, offering sustenance to all. Thank you for watching our recap. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and feel free to explore our other recaps.